Welcome to another episode of Junior Achievement of South Florida's Recipe for Success. Just as there are no two recipes that contain the exact same ingredients or measurements, there are no two success stories exactly the same. Recipe for Success features entrepreneurs, visionary leaders, and innovators of all ages who will share the ingredients that make them successful. Here's your host, Lori Salarulo, President.
Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Recipe for Success, brought to you by Junior Achievement of South Florida. And for those of you who have been watching, you know that what this show is all about is featuring leaders and entrepreneurs who share their passion and their ingredients to success. And as we're teaching young people about entrepreneurship and career skills and financial literacy, it's so important that they hear from the leaders of our community. And so thank you for joining us. Today's guest is someone who we've had the opportunity at Junior Achievement to partner with for quite a number of years now. Derek Cooper is the Regional Vice President of External Affairs, and he is going to share his story with us this morning and his ingredients to success. Well, good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon, Lori. I am doing well. Thank you. How are you doing today?
I am doing great. We had a little technical difficulties before that, but in this new virtual world that we're living in, that's just part of what we're going to have to probably deal with every now and then. So, but thank you so much. I know how busy you all are over at Comcast, making sure that customers stay whole during this time and have a way to communicate and watch and all those different services that you provide. Could you share with me and our audience a little bit about what Comcast is doing now for its clients and for the community?
Sure. So, Comcast, obviously our network built very resilient. So as we've seen more families, individuals and businesses working from home, our network is built for the future. So it's been a great network, continues to run very strong. Our biggest piece that we saw, particularly as school districts started to move virtual, was to make sure that everyone was connected. And so we've done that really through our Internet Essentials program. It's been around, for more than 8 years. It connects low-income families to the internet. So if they have qualify for any form of government assistance, they can get our internet. And it's generally $10 a month. But in this crisis, we made a decision at a company to offer 2 months of free service for any new families that needed to sign up to make sure that everyone was connected, particularly those families, whether they're doing school, for those employees that are now working from home, or for those individuals that are looking for jobs now as a result of COVID-19, to make sure they had access to it.
Right. Yeah, because so many people are online looking for jobs, applying for services and supports and all of that. That is amazing. And what a great way for Comcast to support the community, not only all the time, but especially during this time. You said something that really caught my attention, and I love it. And I would love if you would expand on it as a company or as a team, right, in your team.
Sure.
You said built for the future. I love that, right? Because I think the organizations who are doing that, and I want to hear what that means to you, are the companies that will make it through this, right, and hopefully thrive after this, we get through this toughest time. Talk to me a little bit about Comcast and building for the future, as you said.
Sure. So as you know, we love to say with Comcast and particularly Xfinity, our brand, it's the future of awesome, and so from an entertainment experience, we like to make sure you have everything from, if you're online, surfing the web or gaming online, to at TV with our X1 platform, our voice remote, so you can say where you want to go without having to type in the channel or get up and change the TV back in the day like we used to. You just you can search for anything. And so really, defining that and making that customer experience always top priority, top of line with that. And so, we're always built looking, years ahead with that, whether it's entertainment, whether it be our network, to always built ahead of time to sustain capacity, to the customer experience. We've even, from our customer care piece, we've moved over really to a digital platform. So, should you want new services, you can chat with us as opposed to if you don't want to pick up the phone. Or if you're having an issue, you can chat with us too as well. We know, all different ages, all different generations, from those Gen Y, Gen X to those millennials that prefer texting. We're built to handle kind of any conversation we can have with them through that kind of digital platform.
Yeah, that's great. By the way, I think Zoom is now the new texting or something like that. I don't know. That's what I hear.
with Zoom and Microsoft Teams, I know Microsoft Teams is one that I use a lot with mine.
Yeah.
It's great. I mean, I'm in external affairs, so I love to see it's one thing to be on a call, but another thing when you get to physically see them. It just, particularly in this day of where we're working from home, it just means so much more to just see that face, be able to talk with them, work through any issues, problem solve, come up with great solutions, whether it be for our great community partners like yourself. So it's just great.
Yeah, I love that. So, build for the future. I mean, we've worked really hard at Junior Achievement over the last 3 to 4 years to do the same thing, right? How do we stay relevant for the students? How do we continue to use technology to teach them and to meet them where they are? And so we want to give them the real world experience, but we also know that it can't be by standing in front of them and teaching them, right? At least not all the time. We have to mix in some of what excites them and create that awesomeness, right? Or that wow factor.
Absolutely.
But as an individual, right, how do you stay built for the future, right? I think so many of us are trying to figure out, right, how do I stay relevant and how do I stay built for the future? So what's something you do that keeps you personally built for the future?
Well, for me, it takes, some always say it takes a village. For me, it takes a great team. And that is, it's also, I'd say my main ingredient for success has always been teamwork. It's having great individuals, both that support me and our team in external affairs and our community investment, to a great leadership team, to our techs out in the field that are installing services, and to our store workers, every which way. It's that teamwork, and always making sure you have individuals around you that are working together as a team.
Yeah, so important, right? And so I think, I know that I have been so amazed by my team during this. And so, how has your team responded to all of this, right? I think because change is hard.
Yes. It absolutely is. And my team, again, external affairs, they're used to being out in the community. They're used to socializing, working directly with individuals. So, like any company, we adapt. And my team, my individual team has just adapted amazing to, be able to, work with partners, whether it be in the community side, to see what needs do they have? How can we help them? You have to work a little bit more virtual, in connecting those dots. But one thing that never changes is, that hard work, they're used to it. So whether they're in the office, whether they're out of the office, a little bit more now at home, but always working through to do what they can. We've got great community partners. You want to help them, particularly during this difficult time. Working with cities and counties, they have been a great partners for us, both in making sure, to the extent we need to, whether it be adding capacity to our network or anything, they have just been great partners with us to make sure, knowing we are an essential service, to be able to access our plant, expand on our plant that we may need to for any of those families, businesses, et cetera. It's just been a great partnership, and it's really keeping those relationships during this time. Sometimes it's getting on a call. Sometimes it's a Microsoft team call individually where you can just physically see them and just talk through that. But I'd really say adaptability and just, having that great work ethic. We always say at Comcast, with great teamwork, the dream works. So it does. And it really does, a dream that, Ralph Roberts built, and that we all work together for that one goal of making sure, we're always meeting our customers' expectations and exceeding them in every way we can.
Yeah. And like you said, teamwork is not just your internal team, but those external partnerships, right? Because we're all part of the team. We say we're going to get through this together, but we are. Without those relationships and those partnerships and that broader team, right? Yeah. We can't just operate here. It has to be that bigger team. So important on that as well. I mean, I have to tell you, we have moved to virtual learning. Obviously, And we had already started to make that shift. So as you said, built for the future, right? We were already getting ready for that and already had launched some blended programs that had the digital components to them. But now continuing to build on that and making sure. But I think the other thing is, and this is something that I know personally Comcast has been so committed to, is we need to build our youth for the future. There has never been a more important time, in my opinion, maybe because I love what we do, right? And I'm passionate about preparing our young people, but they're going to face times like this in the very near future, probably, right? In just a few years' time. And they're feeling the stress of all of this too. But so how do we prepare them and get them built for the future? And I love that because it just applies across the board to everyone. And that's our commitment. And thank you for allowing us and partnering with us to allow us to do that. So we really appreciate it.
Well, no, absolutely. I mean, you are giving them both life skill and life-changing skills that they will use as they continue to grow and will make them successful. It's those great pillars that we recognize with great partners like Junior Achievement working together to give, those students and individuals the fundamentals that they will need to succeed. And then it's great for companies like Comcast and others that look forward to hiring them up and having them succeed in their career beyond. So it's a great teamwork, and it's a cycle that just works all the way through. And when we come together as a great partnership, you just see what great results can
right. What amazing or awesomeness, as you said, can come out of it.
Future of awesome, absolutely.
I agree. Is there anything that from Comcast or yourself that you would want to give as a piece of advice to people? Is there a resource that maybe you want us to share, that this is an opportunity to share something that they may not know about?
We talked about our Internet Essentials, so we still have, we're still offering that 2 months of free service for any new Internet Essential customers if they haven't had a chance to sign up yet. We know it's critical, particularly for any of those families that still may not have gotten online yet to do education. So we still have that. They can go to internetessentials.com and apply there. The other piece is, during this, obviously there's this very stressful time, and something personally that I always talk with my team is you've also got to take that time to just take a few minutes, reflect, and not necessarily you have to meditate where you're doing the Om and chatter, but just to relax, and think about just the things you're grateful for, the things that, the individuals that help you in your life to always say thank you for, and just to know that, we're all in this together. We all care about each other. We're all going to work together. That's the great thing about Americans and Floridians. We all come together in time of crisis, and just know we're all there for you. But sometimes it's just good just to take a break, relax, unwind from that stress, because good mind, good body, good soul, is a great piece that will lead to it'll get you refocused and really kind of get rid of all of the sometimes negative energy from being cooped up in. We can understand that.
Yeah, wow, that is such great advice, Derek. I think sometimes we overlook that, right? We're just going, and we don't take that moment to slow down. And actually, I was talking with somebody else on the show, and we said, maybe that's what the universe was trying to tell us to do, right? So let's not miss the message to step back for a second, each day, be grateful for what we do have. We're healthy. Our community is pulling together during this time. And so there really is a lot to be thankful for. So I'm just going to want to recap, because I think what just a few things you've mentioned today are just so critical and so helpful. And so, of course, the first thing you said, which really struck me, is built for the future, right? Whether it's you yourself and getting yourself ready for the future, your team, your organization, and helping the community to be built for the future. I love that. The future of awesome, you mentioned, I love it. I just absolutely love that, because, it's easy. I always say, there's mediocrity and then there's awesomeness, right? And so even if we're striving for awesomeness, that's okay if we don't hit it every time. But the goal of awesomeness is just amazing. And so I commend the company and you and your team for that commitment. Teamwork and partnerships. You talked a lot about that being a huge success, and for the company and for the community. And then lastly, individually, especially, And as leaders, I think we need to encourage our teams to do this, is take that step back and make sure that we reflect and that we are grateful and recognize all the things that we have and be thankful for them. And so thanks for reminding us of that. And just one last time to get that out there for those people who need internet service. You've waived the fees. It's internetessentials.com that they can go to, right, to sign up for that service. So if you or your students need help accessing Wi-Fi, Comcast is there for you. And so just like you all have been there for all of us. And so I just want to say thank you to you, because I can tell you that we are so grateful for your partnership and for you and your leadership and your team. You know I love Dawn, and she's our board member on Junior Achievement, and love having her. She fights for you. She's there for you. She supports you, and that's what your team does. So thank you for everything.
Well, thank you. And we love having a great partnership with Junior Achievement, everything you and your team are doing. You mentioned Dawn. She's a great team member, a great hard worker in every which way. And I'd be remiss if I just didn't thank every single Comcaster out there, because without their great working together and support, we couldn't have great partnership, continue to support the community like we do. So it comes down to all levels, all working together. Like you said, create that future of awesome. So thank you.
So go team and go Comcast. Yay!
Go Comcast, go team. We love it.
Please take care of yourself, your family, your team, and we'll see you on the other side of this someday, we know.
That sounds great. Absolutely. I'm with you there. Thank you so much. You take care.
Thanks, Eric. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.